A very good morning to each and every one of you, wherever you guys are joining us from. We know where you are joining us from. You're on social media. You're social media folks. You're on Facebook. You're on Twitter. You're on the Tube. To all our tubers this morning, welcome. It's Wednesday, folks, the 13th day of September. Already the time is moving. And so must we. Good to have so many of you already on the live commenting. Good to have Gloria Chester here with us this morning. All of the YouTubers are here. Debbie Collins, Dolly Anderson, Beatrice Selby, Fennel Innes is here. L.N. Austin as well. Good to see Siobhan McDonald is on the live as well. Not wasting any time. Folks, pull up a cup of something with us. We got something here with us. Very warm, very dark. Who know? Good to have Evelina Whitaker with us. Her Alexis Tramley Richmond is here as well. And all the other folks who are joining us, the technicians who are on duty this morning, do let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear. That's how we want to be heard. We see Fidel Albert is here too. Jolly Anderson and Tessa Isaacs gives Andy. It's another day, folks. We have another day to get a couple of things right. Good to see you, folks. We got a lot to share with you. Helen Collins, we see you there. Helen, how are you doing? Helen. How are you this morning, Helen? We're happy you are here with us. You know, folks, there's so much on social media that you guys can be paying attention to, but we're happy that you're locked in here with us on this Wednesday morning. Again, the 13th day of August. The time is moving, folks. How close are you to some of those hopes, dreams, and aspirations that you've been pursuing? Some of those goals you set out to accomplish, you set out for when the year started, when 2023 started. We started with high hopes. How closer are we to those, good folks? Do let us know. Do let me know how much closer are we to some of those things that we said and say we are going to do. We said it and say we're going to do. Here's where we're there. Folks, we got to keep pushing. We got to keep pushing. Don't step back. Don't take your foot off of that throttle at all. Don't take your hands, your foot. Wherever the throttle is this morning, don't lose sight of it. Don't lose sight of it. And as we said, we're trying to make sure that we're shared to all of the valid, incredible places as well. And we're just happy that you folks are here with us this morning. Tremendously happy that you folks are here with us. Share the live, Mario Bella and Orindon Cook. Smash that emoji button too. And folks, very important, partner with us as well. Please and thank you. We got so many of you who are already locked in here. Share the live now and smash that emoji button too. Deborah Pearson, we see you. Orindon Cook, Lynn Finance. Lynn, how are you doing? Glad to have you at this end, Lynn. So glad to have you at this end. Hope you're good at your end, Lynn. Hope you're good. Folks, as we say, folks, we hope you all are good this morning. You hit the ground running. How was the night, folks? How was that night behind us? Shelly Granham. Shelly, how you doing, man? Thank you for that rose, Shelly. Thank you for that rose. I see Orindon locked in with the banana. Orindon, how are you doing at your end today? Do let us know. And all the other folks who are joining us. Victoria Singh, how are you doing, Victoria? Shelly Granham, Siobhan McDonald, Orindon Cook. Folks, we're happy that you guys are here with us this morning. What better company could we ask for? I mean, in some instances, maybe a little better company, but for all intents and purposes, we couldn't ask for better company than you folks. We have Yolanda Thomas here with us. Yolanda is here. Siobhan McDonald is here too. Beatrice Selby is here. Lynn Finance, Edward Brooms, and a whole lot of other folks joining us this morning. We are so happy. So much to share with you guys this morning. What's in your vessel this morning? What's in your utensil for, what hot beverage are you folks? Look how we got to go around the bush. That's a sick cup. Look how we got to go around the bush. Not to say cup. Edward Rooms, we see you there. Dolly and Lynn and Beatrice, we see you guys. Yolanda, Marilyn, Karen, and all the other folks who are joining us. We're happy, delighted to see you folks on with us today, good folks. We're just happy to see you guys on with us this morning, the 13th day of September, and we got quite a few things to share with you folks. So gather yourself, catch your bearings, take a quick brush if you're just rolling out from under the covers. Dennis J and Karen, we see you folks with us. Mayborn King is here as well. So happy to see all of you folks. Seymour George has joined us. Shoreen Hohenpark has joined us too. And some of the other folks, Apple had some big announcements yesterday. Those who are following news, Apple had some big announcements. We got some tech junkies, and it doesn't matter wait, right? Come to understand some big people, like to stay in trend, like to stay with them, making sure you got the latest iPhone and the latest Apple product. Kudos to you. Kudos to you for kind of some announcements yesterday out of Apple and that. Well, the last event we were tuned into. Torino and Kirk, we see you there. Pamela Jovo, we see you as well. Beatrice says, I'm having 2 egg balls, a toast, and a cup of test tea. Tea rather. I'm gonna have some tea in a little bit. How is that going for you, Beatrice? Is the egg balls for us? Is the egg balls for us? Are they hot? Oh my God, you catch a nice hot egg ball. Nice time. Nice time. You catch a nice hot egg ball. Folks, good to see all of you folks at that end. Beatrice. One of my favorite parts of the program is this man from here. What's happening through that door there? Yeah, it always catches my attention. Back in the 592, we got put up with big grills and so on. You got put up your big grills and this and that and such and so forth. But in Uncle Sam country, people live different. People live quite different. I'm always struck by that corner there. Beatrice, Beams, Beatrice. Some of you all young people on with us here, you would understand the mastery. Beams. And us Guyanese, we have that tendency. We could pack a whole essay in one word. Beams. You just say the word, the whole story, the whole thing. Beams. Young people on with us this morning will understand that. Old heads. People deeply cultured. In Guyanesism would understand beams. Folks, when last you heard that? Beams. When we were finished playing at primary school and you having a snack or so on, you first said no beams. No beams, no bag, no rotten boiled egg. No, I'm starting some fresh eggs in Beatrice egg ball. But you see, when you're out these parts, when you're eating, you always gotta qualify what you're eating. The egg ball, is it farm fresh eggs, it's printed eggs, it's lab-made, lab-grown eggs, all manner of things. Aubrey Stevens, we see you there as well. Welcome, Aubrey. I see Yonet. Aisha Wong is here. Tracy Clark is here. John Joseph is here. Neon Harding is here. Neon says, no beams. No beams, no bag, no rotten. I just show my age here. June Cameron says, we outside. True. And we coming to Georgia, heading up to Washington in a little bit too, covering some what's happening there. We can talk about Washington this morning because them boys taking edge. Oh, this conference got some of them, catching banter. This conference that Rickford Burke and the other organizations they're putting on in Washington are talking about the state of affairs, what's happening in Guyana. Oh, the catching banter and the taking edge. We can talk about some of that. We see Kyle is with us this morning. We see we got Audrey and Diane and lots of the other folks on with us this morning. Oh my Lord, these names are going by so fast. Y'all slow down, man. There's so many comments we got to wade through this morning. So many comments we have to wade through. See them boys catching banter though with that conference coming up, folks, in D.C., in Washington, D.C. But first, we got Georgia coming up on the weekend, on the 16th. I am happy to be heading to Georgia to meet with some of you guys on watching us right now. Come down, folks, and let's have a good time in Georgia. Please and thank you. It's a meet and greet, but we can have a fantastic time. Nonetheless, Pamela Drover, we see you there. Pamela, the catching banter with this conference that Rickford Burke's organizations put on with some other organizations there in Washington, D.C., and that's the Caribbean Guyana Institute for Democracy putting on. Banter. Magnet Barrel says, no rotten by leg, no rotten by leg. Bantu King is here with us. Don Sullivan is here with us as well. Good to see you, Don, and all the other folks who are joining us this morning. Great to see you folks at that end. We are happy that you're here. Pull up a chair, a cup of something with us, a bowl of something. I don't know if you're like me. I eat anything, anytime. If lunch finished, rice or whatever it is for lunch. I eat lunch right now. I eat curry at 8 o'clock, come in at 9. Doesn't matter. Food is food. All in the same place. I know some of you are more protected than that, more cultured, more refined. No, no, no. You gotta start your food, your this, your that, your juice, bap, 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 bap. You see, I happy for you all. I happy for you all. You only live once, and once is enough if you do it right. You see, folks that are leaving for work, well dressed up this morning. We hope they have a good day. Make lots of money. We gotta live real life. In my Marshall Montana voice, we come out for live real life. Live real life. Folks are dressed in here. Some lovely colors, black and gold and so on. Looking like $1 million. We pray to God that they make the money. Make the money. That's how we veteran and boys making them. And I sell them plain. I sell them plain. I tell them come in life, I get my road contract, my this, my that. My big fancy studio. Don't bother with me. You see, make your money. Y'all make y'all money. Happy for y'all. I happy for all of y'all who make y'all money. Make your money. Time gonna come. A time gonna come. And meanwhile, y'all vex when the time come. Right? So y'all live your life now. I tuning up, gearing up, come out for live my life. Good to see so many of you on the live this morning. Hundreds of you. We see Sabina Jacobs is here. Fidel Albert is here. Fidel is asking, why don't I block some folks? Who is Rai now? Who is Rai? Rai better be able to say, we don't block folks here like that, We don't block folks here like that. But Rai, if you're in control, the emotions, please, you got lots of programs, other programs. If this is what always gets me. Now, if you disagree with what we say, folks, how many channels you got in the United States of America? But see, 50 billion channels. If you like one Fox, go over by MSNBC. If they're threatening you, go run by CBS. People things that are more in tune, but you're thinking your worldview and so on. Don't let us detain you here unnecessarily. You see, don't let us detain you here unnecessarily. I know them boys at NCL and so on would love for some more viewers. Oh, carry oneself over center, right? Please, don't come to disturb us on this side. We don't want to block you necessarily. If you say, we don't mind disagreement. We don't mind people disagree with our point of view. But you can do so respectfully. That's something you don't understand, You can disagree respectfully with people. Put forward your own viewpoint. You see, but when you can be nasty, for just the sake of being nasty, I mean, come on. We're a different program. Understand? We don't cuss up the viewers and so on. You see, when we have a calling program, we don't abuse young people, shout on them and so on this side. So please, Rai, we ask of you nicely. Dolly Anderson is here. I see other folks are here as well. Roxy's here. Folks are coming in. Folks are leaving. It's that kind of morning. It's a busy morning here. Business is happening. People just lightning about these parts. And that's one thing you realize in Uncle Sam country. You better be busy living or busy dying. Busy doing something, though. People are skylarking here, So, right, you're going to do this morning, crawling back wherever hole you crawled from, please and thank you. We don't block people here unnecessarily, and we don't want to have to do it. Robin, talk to Rai. I'm begging you, right? Some mature people, talk to Rai. Fidel reason with Rai. Annette and Seymour George and all the other folks joining us this morning. Folks, Rai has detained us a little bit, and we don't want it to happen. Some of what we're covering this morning in the morning papers. Welcome to our broadcast. Welcome to FYI. For your information, folks, we got a couple of things we have to cover this morning. Ali goes to Washington. We can touch on that. What's happening on that side? Again, is this conference. They're really trying to head off, the onslaught of criticisms they're going to get at this conference. And they're preempting some of that. We're going to talk about that later on in the program. Folks, we can touch on that, and we can touch on some other things as well. But as we said, it's great having each and every one of you here from the various places. You wonderful, beautiful folks. Peace-loving. It's easy, Tantarian. Peace-loving folks. From the various places you all are joining us from. Welcome this morning to our broadcast. Let's bring you guys up to speed with some of what we're covering internationally. We can touch some of the things we're covering regionally, Caribbean, Latin America, South America, those places closer to home. And then we can touch on some of the issues happening in the 592 this morning. But good to have all of you on the live. Some what we're touching on internationally. Kim Jong-un. I didn't say Kim Jong-irfan. Kim Jong-un is meeting with Putin as we speak. Folks, this is what is dominating the headlines internationally. And Kim Jong-un is reported as saying that he supports this sacred fight that Russia has with the Ukraine. And I just love these kinds of euphemism. Thousands are dead as a result of this aggression by Russia on Ukraine. Kim Jong-un calls it a sacred fight. Only dictators would do and say things like this. It's a sacred fight. Right? Go tell that to the mothers whose sons are coming back home, the wives whose husbands are lost for all eternity. A sacred fight. And Yahoo reporting on some of this. Well, last time I heard that word. Yahoo reporting on some of what's happening in as a consequence of this meeting, says that Kim Jong-un expresses support for what he called Moscow's sacred fight against Western imperialism as he met with President Vladimir Putin today. Yep, the pair exchanged a long handshake and warm greetings outside of a particular area in Russia. Let's go into all of that. This place is called the Cosmodrome, right? Russia's most modern space rocket launch facility there. Right? Yeah. So Kim Jong-un is there talking about this sacred fight. Earlier, Yahoo is telling us that Putin was asked by reporters if Russia would would rather help Kim Jong-un build his satellites. You know, they've been trying to launch some reconnaissance satellites for the past 4 months. They've been met with a lot of failure. And Putin would only respond, that's why we came here, Putin says. That is why we came here. But more than that, you know, Putin wants some ammunition that his North Korean counterparts have. But that same sacred fight against Western imperialism, and in the instant case of Ukraine, he wants some ammunition for that. Again, we see the US warning against this arms trade. Yep, that's what's happening internationally, folks. With the sacred fight. With this sacred fight. Kim Jong-un says, we have your own sacred fight against them boys. Sacred fight it is. Good to see so many of you on the live, folks. Moving on to some of what we're following regionally, you know, closer to home in Trinidad and Tobago. The Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said, this opposition that got led by Kamala Persad-Bissessar, former Prime Minister herself, they're not putting country first. This is what Rowley is saying, because one of their members of parliament belonging to the opposition, in the Prime Minister's estimation, was trying to be disrespectful to the president. They got a different political culture. Different. Now, them boys by week. You remember when them boys had all the placards in parliament? You remember that? Huh? Rowley said because one member of parliament kind of turned his back when their president was speaking in parliament, Christine Tangalo, the honorable Christine Tangalo. When she was speaking in parliament, Rowley said they're not putting country first. Right? He's working with them. He's not sidelining them from boards that is supposed to be on. He's not sidelining them from meaningful consultation with the Constitution is requiring it. He's only saying that you gotta put country first. A little bit. You gotta put country first a little bit. This is some of what Rowley told CNT News.
We have a new president. It's a new parliament. There are new and worsening situations in the country which require parliament's intervention. And we at the level of the government, we will keep trying in the parliament to encourage our colleagues to put country first. I have not seen that change, and if it's there, I would like to observe it. But when I saw today a member of parliament attempting to insult the president in the chamber while she's addressing the nation, I don't see that change. I would like to see it. but there are members of parliament who, as far as I'm concerned, are not prepared to see beyond what they believe is their prospect in the next election.
Yeah, and this is as a result of an MP trying to turn his back when the president of Trinidad and Tobago, Christine Kangal, was speaking to part. He got to come and see how them boys here try to upturn a minister vehicle by Pegasus. You all remember that? Yeah, took a set of placards into the National Assembly to upstage Granger. You all remember rape in the parliament? You see, Rowley, they have a kind of gentleman's politics here in Trinidad and Tobago. They don't know the rough and tumble of what's happening at the Chunk Convention Center. They don't understand it. You know, that's when we went back to Brigdam, I see a lot of young people use the chamber there. Doesn't seem to bother them the least bit. Right? When we're going back to Brigdam, I hear one of the reasons why they got us up on the East Coast, because it's difficult to mobilize protests up on the East Coast. They got the market folks who they believe vote a certain way, and you could muster them quick for protests by Parliament. And so they're staying on the East Coast, right? The young people use the National Assembly in Brigdam for youth parliament. They ain't got no problems, they ain't got no trouble. But I got the rest of us up on the East Coast for a long time. Rowley don't understand. It's one back turn. Rowley worried about, you know. He don't understand the 592. The rough and tumble, you see. BB saying if you could make it in Georgetown, the 592, you could make it anywhere. And that is why Guyanese come into the diaspora and do so well. Nurses, teachers, doctors, you know, come and do so well. Engineers and so on. You can work your whole life in the 592. You might enjoy a house of your own in your old age and so on. Look at the people at that place we spoke about last evening. They get land, they get water, they get light, they get this, they get that. But we're saying how all is nice and well and good in little Dubai, you know. So Rowley, I'd be thankful for the little yuga happening by your side. I would be thankful for the little yuga happening by your side. Rowley says country first, but we understand what he means. He doesn't want things to degenerate to where we are. A whole parliament of placards, you know, and trying to chant down Granger during his presentation. The National Assembly is one person turning his back, only worried about it. Rowley think he got problems. Rowley think he has problems. He won't have a deal with some of the Jacobats and trench posts we got at this end here. But folks, that's what's happening in Trinidad. That's what's happening in Trinidad. CARICOM thought it was going to be a walkover in Haiti. I don't know what they were expecting. You know, some of the problems that we have in Haiti have been happening for a long time. And CARICOM, you know, has ignored Haiti for a long time as well. You know, they put together some past politicians, you know, past their use by dates and send them to Haiti, and they expect that things are going to turn around overnight. Now, the first thing, and I told you, I was upset. You send 3 past prime ministers to Haiti and you call them the eminent persons group. It seems to me like the emphasis is more on them than the mission to Haiti, the eminent persons group. What? You all see what CARICOM live in? You see, that is what they like. Fuss and fanfare, the eminence persons group. So they were supposed to touch down with this big title to the group in. And everybody in Haiti was supposed to fall in line and perhaps Suhawe them, genuflect for them, such and so forth. Now they've gone, you know, with at least a tail or two between their legs complaining to CARICOM. Because they thought in some initial meeting they had the energy of the meeting felt a certain way. Nothing was written in stone, nothing was cemented. They just like the way the people spoke and so on. And now some people are making an about face. They vex. They vex, right? And that is some of what is being reported as well. I want to quote some of it for you because for me it's hysterical. What were they expecting? You run in Haiti for 2 days. and you can solve the problem and life goes on. Most of CARICOM's leaders busy on the ground in the home country, and that's what they were elected for. And then they play lip service to what's happening in the region. No movement in a lot of these issues CARICOM has set out to accomplish for many years now. And suddenly you send 3 people to Haiti, right? Past their prime, past the use by date, and you expect some big movement in Haiti. And that's what this piece of reporting is saying here. The so-called eminent persons group, EPM, they even have an acronym for it. You see this madness here? You see this madness here? Eminent persons group, comprising of Jamaican Prime Minister Bruce Golding, former Prime Minister Bruce Golding, talk about somebody who passed the use by date, Dr. Kenny Anthony in this mix too of St. Lucia, and then you got Perry Christie of the Bahamas, right? They had this, they presided over this meeting with about 50 Haitian stakeholders in Jamaica. And the 3 did say that they were encouraged by the tone of the deliberations. Right? The tone, this is very Trump-like, very Bush-like. I looked into the eyes of Putin and I saw his soul. Putin didn't convert yet. Same thing Trump said about Kim Jong-un. He is my friend. I'm happy people close to me understand these worldly events. He's my friend. Right? They were encouraged by the tone of the deliberations. Folks, people is writing down and sign and do something else tomorrow. It's tone of deliberations we're going by. But now the group and the regional leadership, this CARICOM, are complaining that too many participants from the talks in Jamaica and the second session held in Haiti on September 4th have now made a complete about-face and are now calling for the resignation of interim Prime Minister Ariel Henry. Folks, 2 mornings they touched down, you see, and they want international award for peace. They want the Nobel Prize for peace. But I'm not surprised at CARICOM one bit. They won the Nobel Prize for peace, and now they've run back complaining. But that's what we're good for. That's what we're good for. Does CARICOM actually solve anything? Huh? Does CARICOM actually solve anything? We used to have some big figures in CARICOM. We've lost them. Right? We used to have some giants who met and were decisive. I mean, that's how CARICOM came into being in the first place. Decisive men and women. Now, sweet Jesus, sweet Lord, every man for himself, not a boy. I got time with this thing here. They meet once in a while and they say, oh, we want to do this and we do that. Right? If we were together, Liat would never be where Liat is. Y'all fight me. Liat would never be where it is, where Antigua's trying to go alone. Ralph on the corner, he was touting one Caribbean the other day. Now he's fighting the airline. We could barely make it with Liat. Right? One of our folks in this sense saying Ralph want another brick in the head for catchy senses. I thought the Sartio but like he's slipping back. We don't promote violence by any means. We don't promote it, right? But sometimes it is what it is. You want a political brick in the head, not a physical brick. Because I know some of y'all ready, I can see some of y'all done writing a letter to the editor. Done writing because y'all trying to get some mileage. So them boys gone back home now crying. You see? Sending some strong young people. You think them gangs in Haiti won't see anybody past any Judate, any farmer, somebody? Huh? That they probably never even know was prime minister of any place? Huh? To come solving problems that they have? Them boys in Haiti saying, carry who? I never heard of that before. What's a CARICOM? Come on, folks. Let us put some energy in this process. Let's imbue this process with some energy. Like we really mean to solve something. My God. You know? Where's Miss Charles from Dominica when you need her? Where's a Burnham when you need him? Huh? My God, look at what we've become. Look at what we've become. We started before some of these other economical blocks, you know, far before them, and we'll be there for it. God of mercy. So them boys gone back crying. I guess no Nobel Prize for Peace coming anytime soon. As I said, in the 592, when the 592 Agri March, good to see you, nothing. Margaret Stewart. I miss Margaret Nelson a couple days. Rio, what have you done with our friend? You know, King Jong-un is not my friend. Margaret is my friend. Rio, have I since Margaret went back, you know, to her parts, you're from New York. Margaret missing. Rio, what have you done? You know, Claude and Claudette, Naomi and all the other folks. Abby and D'Souza, Abby D'Souza, Agri Marsh, Agri Dillon, you know, he got like, you know, he got like a little uppity middle name. You know, everybody who uses middle name on Facebook trying to play uppity. Agri Dillon Marsh. You see when you use your middle name, you better get money in the bank. You better get things like that. Right? Even Elon Musk them don't use middle name and so on. You come with this old money kind of talk, you know. Agri Dillon Marsh, Debbie Collins, Trevon Lilly, Gwyneth, and all the other folks. You know, Dylan, if you got money, send us a race now. Shucks. Send us to Washington in fine style. I want on a private jet. I want touchdown and let them know we mean business. Send me the private jet to Washington. God damn it. Gail Alicock, good morning. Rio, what have you done with Margaret SOS? Margaret, wink if you need intervention, please. Pamela Dover, Francine Cruz, Nikki Chalmers, Gwyneth Anderson, good to have all of you on the. I don't know why y'all don't give NCN a little viewership on them boys, you know. Y'all the pack out here, over 1,000 of y'all watching me. Folks, if 1,000 people, if NCN wake up and 1,000 people watching on their show, they take the next four days off. In celebration. Y'all pack up here. Cheryl Gren. Y'all many people give us a bad name. Forbes, Yolanda Thomas, Gail Alicock, Joel Ward. Joel, I see you for a long time. Happy to see you here. Good to see you here. Lyndon Jones and all the other folks joining us this morning. Let's touch on some of the things we're covering in the 592. Naomi, have you seen Margaret? Have you seen Margaret, Naomi? Have you seen Margaret? Pamela Dover. You know, I should call Margaret right now and put you on the spot. Camille Cox, Trevon Lilly, Kyle Bay, Maxine. Folks, some of the things we're covering in the 592 is this Guyana Qatar state visit that happened. The Qatar state visit. Oh, and them boys on the ground. Well, I know they left because Irfan beat out early this morning. Irfan beat out, and I think he will. It will be in bad taste if you're having a state visit and the president of the host country fly out and left you. It will be in very bad taste. But this state visit here is something else because the state newspapers, believe it or not, on this whole state visit, they got 2 paragraphs. This is the state newspapers, right? One paragraph talks about all the people who joined Irfan Ali, you know, on this state visit. Right? And the other paragraph talks about the people who accompanied the Emir of the state of Qatar on this state visit. It doesn't talk about any of the agreements signed, what was signed, what was agreed to, the memorandum of understanding that was signed as well. What is in those documents? 2 paragraphs on the whole state visit. Folks, millions of dollars of Guyanese taxpayers would have gone into this visit. You got 2 paragraphs with 2 paragraphs. For it. I mean, we could have bring in the Amir virtually and show the gardens, the zoo, you know, carry around by the place the first lady just opened. You know, is everybody got building contract these days? First lady building house, president building house separately, ministry housing building house. You have everybody building house these days. We can give you a virtual tour and say we save some million. 2 paragraphs we got out of a whole state visit, you know. Out of a whole state visit. My Lord. I think that I made the passing going to some places for the gas and stopping. Because they're really telling us much about what, was any real outcomes out of this state visit. That being said, folks, remember we were talking recently about these electoral fraud cases, bogus, trumped-up charges that were brought against several persons 3 years in, not one conviction. It's different in the US of A. From the Proud Boys alone, that organization had a major part to play in the insurrection January 6, 2021. Several of them given some hefty sentences. The highest, Enrique Tarrio, 22 years, the role he played. 3 years later, not one conviction in NGT, right? Now, this man calling himself the King Council, right? This Humpty Dumpty, he called himself the King's Council. He got a ton of evidence, and they're ready to start the trials. This is not, what's the movie with the trials? Y'all help me out, man. The movie with the trials. This trilogy, this is not, Is he ready to start the trials next month? Right? Queen's Council, he said he has a ton of evidence. I'm talking about this Mr. Ramdani, Darshan Ramdani. They said they're ready to call over 90 witnesses that they couldn't call one in the last 3 years. And he's supposed to be the special prosecutor. 3 years in, not one conviction. Man said, we're ready now. Tons of evidence. Tons. 3 years in, not one conviction. They make the judicial system a mockery in our country. They make it a mockery. Ramdani run out, say tons. We start the next one. Soon as we start talking about it, he was overseas. The test lives overseas, not Guyana, but lives overseas. I don't even know if he's Guyanese. Lives overseas. Let me start with that. Rock back on some beach for the last how many ever month. Having a fantastic time. We start talking about the issue suddenly next month. Trial starting. They have tons of evidence. Still waiting. We still waiting. Let's get on with it, man, as the British would say. Let's just get on with it. June Cameron, Pamela Dover. PNCR says they're having their Congress either April or August of next year. Who vex? They're having their internal party elections, Congress discussions, deliberation, either April or August of next year. This is what the Sabbath News is reporting this morning. That's one of the headlines we're following between April. Some folks were hoping it was going to be by December. PNCR's come out saying either April or August of next year. Tommy Gibbs, Andrew Griffith, how you feel about that? Annette Cummins or Rendon Cook, April or August of next year? And this issue with the sugar workers who were arrested and stripped, apparently. So one headline that said the police force, mom, and who stripped them? They got a Kwame in the police force. Well, the Guyana Human Rights Association says that this stripping of the protesters while they were in police custody is unacceptable. Well, they don't like the Guyana Human Rights Association at all. They're trying for this, ban this organization a long time and get rid of the president. They're wading into the whole thing now. Unacceptable, untenable that protesters would be treated in this manner. Yeah. They have now waded into this. They have now waded into it. Folks, look, issues we covered just last night on our program. The happenings yesterday. We repeat none of that, It's a whole host of different issues. Soon as you sleep and wake up, I frightened my tail girl last night. They sleep and get up. They've got monumental shifts. Monumental shifts. All of this happening. Now the Guyana Human Rights Association has waded into this issue. Look at this accidental industry last night. The trifecta. Roads and waterways, accidents, fires on the PPP, violence against our women and girls. Look what we saw, a vehicle keeled over in a ditch last evening. At industry, thankfully, they said no reports of any major injuries, but still. Don't be driving carefully. Next thing you know, your wheels up in the air. Slow down, folks. Slow down. Naomi and Ivan and Deborah, Carl and Leon, Logan, slow down. Good folks, please and thank you. So we could arrive alive. Slow down so we could arrive alive. Please and thank you. That's part of what we're following. Why were parents locked out of the Cooper Primary School at Albion yesterday? It might surprise you. Parents, they said children had to eat on the road. Folks, we far back, you know. We far back. Far. You ever been so far down? You're so far at the bottom. You're so far down. When you reach up, you touch the bottom. That's where we there. That is where we are. Parents locked out of the school. Videos circulating on social media. Parents having to feed the kids lunch on the street. It boggles the mind sometimes. You know? It just boggles the mind. Here one parent says, this school is a Cooper Primary School at Albion, Babis. Right? It's her first year at this school. And so normally parents would go and give their children their lunch and so on because, you know, they're not going after big school. Right? They want to go and make sure they eat their lunch and what's not. Right? They're now attending primary school. Yesterday, well, Monday, there was an incident at this school where a part-time worker bag was stolen from a class. Yeah, part-time worker bag was stolen from a class. The parent says, however, they don't allow parents in the classroom to give their children lunch. The parents normally be at this or the sheds in the school compound, right? And that's where the children would eat their lunch. So how can a parent keep the bag? They lock down the school. They want the parents to come in the compound. The children have to go on the street and stand up for the parents and eat a lunch. The fastest growing economy in the world, high-income country. The videos are there. Parents feeding the children, standing up on the street, you know, and feeding the children. Yep. Only in Guyana. We gotta get the signage only in Guyana. Look, out of the school compound. Because a part-time worker lost a bag in a classroom. You know, and if they left their bag in the staff room, let's say by mistake, they will even come back and say, sorry. Because it was so egregious having to lock the parents out. Could you imagine saying, well, we should have left it in the staff room? Right? Isn't there where you're supposed to really leave your bag and so on? You have some, well, look how I get Americanized now. You have some locker. So, folks, the video evidence is there. Parents stand up on the road with a bowl open, giving the children lunch. Only 592. Only Van Classic said BJT fit. Y'all different out here, you know. Tessa ladies, man. Y'all are different. That's just some of the things we're tracking this morning, folks. And, you know, teachers, we said on our program last evening, are some of those persons that go above and beyond, like our frontline workers during COVID. They didn't get no awards, you know, no getting awards, these so-called guardians of democracy. But our health professionals went above and beyond during COVID. Y'all remember when buses didn't picking up nurses on the road? Huh? Public transportation for the fear of spreading COVID, of them spreading COVID. Y'all remember that? Huh? Yep, but they kept on diligently doing their job. MP German Figuera showed us some teachers painting a school recently, you know, wanting the children to come back into a conducive environment for learning and so on. You don't get no awards for that. When you sign a contract with the Ministry of Education to be a teacher, you don't say, well, I can paint, I can sweep. You see? I can deal with abuse issues in families and provide lunch for some child and sometimes clothing and so on. You don't sign up for it. You just happen into it, stumble into it. So we saw these photographs of countless teachers wiping and painting and so on. You know, does the Ministry of Education take the contract, the money for the contract they might have given somebody and say, well, we can bust it up among y'all for going above and beyond. You see? But that's where we are. You know, highest, fastest growing economy in the world. Largest GDP, 59.12345, announced by Ali recently. We can't hire some people to pay for school, the professionals. You know, they said non-oil GDP was what, 12 point something. That was the most. And teachers got to move from their core obligation. See? And they got to take on the work of a painter. Don't come around with funny. They know if they don't do it, it's not going to be done. And they want a certain kind of an environment for the kids. That's what the person told us for this housing situation. The people at LBI last evening. Yes, you get a piece of land, you can get it free. And part of what you pay is for the infrastructure to be put in. You go for water, they say next 2 months. 2 years later, nothing. You go for light, they said lighting given in the area yet. How you can build a house? How you can build a house like that? People said they're ready to build, scraping together a little money. They can't get light, they can't get water, they can't get road. Little Dubai, fastest growing economy in the world, 59 point something growth in GDP. Non-oil growth, 12 point something. You got to take on painting the school for yourself. Could you imagine it? You walk in the bank, you got to go and sweep the floor. You got to go and, you know, cobweb and so on. Hose down the outside the building and so on. Yeah. Some of the things we deal with. Just want to say congrats to all of us. You, really and truly. You know, across the sectors, public sector especially, who go above and beyond. You know, some of y'all are doing it. Some of y'all are doing it. Folks, I carry the private sector mentality. When I went back into the public sector a couple of years ago, you see, when I came out of the office and I watched the floor, 4:30 on the dot, the place was dark. You know, the last man will just turn off the lights. I coming out of the office in darkness. People are staying 4:31. No. I come outside in darkness. In private sector, you done your work, and you beat out. No, sir. To get this is like Muhammad Ali fastness. Muhammad Ali said when he touch the switch before he get into bed, he can get into bed before the room get dark. That's fast. The whole floor in darkness. People gone. You see? Here you got members of the public sector going above and beyond. We saw teachers during COVID going street to street, ensuring students got their booklets and other material necessary for learning during that period of COVID. They don't get no national award. They ain't getting no duty free, you know, no free house lot, nothing like that. But friends, family, and favorites can come into awards. Y'all think this country is easy we living in, huh? Think it's easy. I want to thank Nigel Hughes, you know, for pointing out some of what we spoke about recently. When we talk about this one Guyana, how some get and some don't get, Nigel Hughes drew our attention to the Region 5 Neighborhood Democratic Council and how they're allocating funds for 30 streets. Right? This is the Region 5 Neighborhood Democratic Council. I want to get the correct name of it. We're talking about Union, the areas between Union, Nashtagai, and Fort Wellington. 30 streets, right, are supposed to be benefiting from whether it's revetment or you're recapping or what have you. Right? And Nigel Hughes pointed out, in his words, or words attributed to him, the disaggregated data. See, you can tell Nigel Shepard says disaggregated data, the allocation and identity of the communities which will benefit from this allocation, these 30 roads being constructed. 30 roads being constructed in this NDC here, Region 5, Union, Nashtagai, and Port Wellington. And it's just amazing in this one Guyana. Bushlot, getting 23 roads built. Number 30, one road. Lovely Lass, one road. Number 28, this is where my wife is from, you know. My wife lived most of her life at Yeovil, right? But she was born at 28, and she said, I'm from 20. 28, number 28 village, one road, right? Catherine's Loss, one road. I like how you used to name these communities back in the day. Number 22 village, one road. Hope Town, one road. Onvowak, one road. In this one Guyana. And when people talk about these things, whether at home or abroad, at conferences in Washington, D.C., this is live. We like them. But these are the issues we've been pointing out time and time again. This can't be one Guyana looking like this. I hope you guys are one-sided Guyana. Right? Not one Guyana. Let me scratch that. One-sided Guyana. Bushlot, 23 roads. Number 30, one road. Lovely Lass, one road. This is the area where MP Vince Jordan lives. Lovely Lass. Number 28 village. Catherine's Loss. Number 22 village. Hope Town, Onvoa. Look, this can't be one Guyana. It can't. Who vex? There can be demonstrative, depends which school you went to, of what one Guyana look like. And we see this repeated over and over and over and over and over in our country. And then everyone wants to know why people don't want to come on board with this one Guyana movement. We got to go beyond lip service. We got to practice what we preach, you know. And that's the crux of governance. You know, when you become head and so on, you lead a country, you got to be for everybody. How come you could have such egregious infractions by the Republicans with January 6th, and Biden could still sit down with Republicans with the aim of moving America forward together? Every speech in the 592. Oh, y'all remember August 2nd, 2020? Oh, the rigors, this, that. This is the result when you install people, when you appoint people. This is the facts of the matter. Nigel Yu says, or comments attributed to you says, it's time we disaggregate the data. And you know, he has been pursuing this, looking at where the contracts are going, who gets the contract, friends, family, and favorites, what's happening on the ground. You see, the devil is in the details. The devil is in the details, folks. And that's just some of what we're covering this morning. Just some. But the old boy heading to Washington to talk about all the lovely things happening in the 592. But you know, if you're talking about lovely things, you ain't talking about crime. You ain't talking about the disaggregated data. Who gets what, such and so forth. I saw one report just this morning, comments attributed to Irfan Ali saying that using the oil money for handouts would be heading to disaster. But that's precisely what they're doing. So they're going to head to Washington now to paint the picture that they're doing all of these nice things. And the rest of us perhaps don't know what we're talking about. So Irfan is off to Washington after this state visit by the Amir of the state of Qatar, which went on yesterday. They're off to Washington. And Sabbath News outlined a whole host of things, activities and so on, that they're going to be doing in Washington. But really, truly, all of that is just smoke and mirrors. They want to head off what's going to be said and done at this conference hosted by the Caribbean Guyana Institute of Democracy and other organizations about the real state of affairs in the 592. So even though in this report by Starbuck News, it doesn't capture it. We know that part of their meeting in Washington, they are going to be meeting with the Congressional Black Caucus, we believe on Thursday morning. And they are also supposed to be meeting with the House Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries, who's built to be speaking at that event coming up on the 27th and 28th of this month. And we're going to be there bringing you guys everything. Huh? And they're telling us as well that the caucus, the Black Caucus, the Congressional Black Caucus, they're also going to be meeting with the leader of the opposition and his team at a date to be determined, because, of course, them boys are one-sided. So that's what's going down. But Starbuck News, for its part, based on what the government said, all right, they're off to Washington with a number of stakeholders. They're going to be meeting with a number of stakeholders from the U.S. Congress to the State Department. Good. During his 3-day visit, Starbuck News says the head of state is also scheduled to take part in a number of private sector meetings. He got time with that. It's this business with Burke and others. They're really trying to stem the tide of what's going to happen there, what's going to be said there. So they're preempting some of that, like how we run out with the half-year financial report without even the report being issued. So the people, the reporters and journalists can ask intelligent questions. They're trying to preempt and trying to dull the momentum, blunt the momentum of that conference. So Starbuck News says during his 3-day visit, the head of state is also scheduled to take part in a number of private sector meetings and visit several universities, including the National Defense University. This is what a release from the office of the president said. He's also expected to make a presentation at the Organization of American States. This is the OAS. And he's being joined on this trip by Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Utah, fifth wheelchair coach, square peg and round hole, Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Onij Waldron. Onij has been doing some of the heavy lifting for the administration overseas because a lot of government ministers are afraid to fly, not knowing if, like, what's her name? Toussaint May, the visa gonna be revoked, the phone gonna be confiscated. So Onij is now the frequent flyer. She going every place, whether the issues related to her or not, because she's picking up some of the slack for the others who are afraid to fly. So you got Utah, Onij. Who else? Starbuck News telling us to be part of this. Foreign Secretary Robert Prasad, he's going to be there too. My Lord. Chief of Staff of the Guyana Defense Force, Brigadier Omar Khan, is going to be there as well as part of this team on this 3-day visit to Washington. Yep. We're going to be bringing you all the details. We're going to be bringing you folks all of the details. That is part of the itinerary. The crux of the visit, really and truly, is that Hakeem Jeffries meeting and the Congressional Black Caucus meeting. That is the nucleus. Everything is just peripheral issues and peripheral people, right? Why do you think on one meeting Onij is there, right? Onij, Utah, right? Why the two of them so particularly? You see? Is it because of the complexion of the issues they have to deal with before the Congressional Black Caucus and Hakeem Jeffries? Huh? If one goes to Washington, folks, we're going to be bringing you guys the latest. Yolanda Thomas, Andrew and Gwyneth Anderson, Shannon Wills, Pamela. Pamela says fluff. Pamela Dover. That's the right word. Fluff and bluff. Sheila Boyd Child, Kishan Sharma, Ramji Tan, and all the other folks joining us this morning. All 1,300 plus of you who've tuned into our morning program. Thanks for joining us this morning. That's going to do it for us this time. Looking forward to seeing you guys in Georgia on Saturday. And also looking forward to seeing some of you as well when we go to Washington. God damn it. When we go. That being said, folks, share the live before you go. Smash that emoji button as well, folks. That helps to push us into the right feeds so that others get vital and credible information as well. Smash that emoji button, folks, and partner with us. Is because of your love your support and your generosity. We go from day to day, week to week, month to month. November coming is 3 years we out here, bringing you guys valid and credible information. Thank you again for your love, your support, your generosity. All this time. Thank you so much. You partner with us. Good folks, all of the platforms remain available. Zelle and PayPal. You all know them. And if you forget them, folks, hit us up on WhatsApp 627-6963. Right? And we can give you any guidance that you need on those platforms. 627-6963. Folks, that's going to do it for us at this end. As I said, share the like before you go. Share. Smash that emoji button as well. Let's know how you guys are feeling out there and partner with us as well. That being said, Rico Lewis, that being said, Muret and Fidel and Marla Panda, Yolanda Thomas, Gilali Crop, and all you other folks. That being said, that's going to do it for us at this end. That's our time, good folks. That's our program. Stay safe. Until the next broadcast. Marla and Trevor and all the other folks who are joining us. So true, Hector. Bellamona, Dali. Anybody see Margaret? Anybody see Rio? MIA. Good to see you folks. So Dorrit, Edinburgh, and all you other folks. Stay safe. That's our time. That's our program.